Welcome to Ancient Wisdom. Guys, I'm gay and retarded. But it's just the world we live in. It's just the culture. But we're trying to do something about that. Word of the day is reverie. Anyone? Anybody ever heard this before? Anyone wise enough to know the ancient term of reverie?
That's a title of a Westworld song.
Oh, deep. Okay, we got something.
Maybe something to do with memories. That's the only thing.
Oh, good. Okay.
Westworld.
We're getting somewhere. Memories. Anything else? I hear this word sometimes. I think revenant, but I'm like, no, Mitch, that's not the same. But it does sound very similar.
I know
like
revive. I know reverence. I know revere.
These could all be related. Maybe that's a fun thing to ask too, if they're actually related or not.
Rev.
Any input, Ryan? Rev? Ever heard this word? Nothing? Because I'm going to tell you what it is.
Tell me, Mitch.
Is it lively?
I always wanted to know this term. I didn't know what it was, but I would always have like dreams. I'd have nightmares. I'd have daydreams. But you could also have reverie, which is just being lost in thought. It's like a daydream. It's sort of being absent for that brief moment. What does it say on the robot?
Refers to a state of being lost in thought, daydreaming, or deep contemplation. It's a mental state where one's mind drifts away from the present moment, often indulging in fantasies, memories, or imaginative reflections. So basically, the modern day human.
Boom! I like it, man. And aren't we all lost in reverie in the modern day?
I sure am.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to come back sometimes, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about sword fighting you, Mitch, all the time.
Oh, man! Is that a reverie, though? That's deep.
Now am I talking about with our dicks or
Yeah.
with actual swords?
That's
for you guys to figure out.
Whoa.
So, as always, comment, is Marco gay?
Yeah.
And subscribe to Ancient Wisdom.
Hashtag.
Find out next week.
The answer, yes.
Oh, shit. My girlfriend's not going to like this
Oh,
one.
shit. I didn't even know.
Cover
Oh, my God.
Girlfriend. You mean
Oh, my
boyfriend.
God.
You got me. There is a gay man living in my house right now.
Oh.
Sorry to hear that.
Wait, is that
man,
true?
that's
Oh, my
true.
God.
Yeah, Logan.
Oh, he's living with you? Well,
Dude, after he broke up with his boyfriend, and the fact that he doesn't have parents,
I'm doing the face right now. Yo.
and his grandmother died, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's
He had to pull the plug on her, dude.
Wow.
The only person in his life
Is this getting too heavy?
Is-
for wisdom?
is his grandmother.
Oh, this is fucking going.
You know
Oh,
what?
shit.
Go for it.
The only person in his life right now that can even is remotely willing to take him in is his grandmother's ex-boyfriend, who's a super drug addict. Right? I know. It's very sad.
Damn.
And welcome to Ancient Wisdom.
Let's try this again, folks. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom.
You gotta keep that in,
fuck
bro.
I'm
I'm
just kidding. That was pretty entertaining, I will
Wow.
say. But guys, we want to know,
Living in my house?
is Marco gay? We're trying to get to the root of it. But what we're going to do, Poge, is we're going to analyze some self. We getting into it. Yeah. Do you guys remember the story of the prodigal son? Ryan, you do. Oh, okay. He said, He was being ambiguous on purpose. Yeah, I could say, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally remember it.
Yeah. Jesus, right?
It's very good at work.
What's that? Oh, yeah. He stole that from me. It just fits in every occasion. You can say it and be like, wow, this guy gets it.
All the
He's
time.
for real.
Talk to me.
Not even paying attention. Is that wrong?
Anyways, tell me more about this prodigal son.
The prodigal son, I certainly will. You know, there was a story in Luke 15. Oh, I should have got the Bible ready for this. We're not professional here on Ancient Wisdom. But more or less, I'll tell my Mitch version of it, which is that a man in ancient times had two sons. And one day the youngest son came up to the father and he says, Dad, give me half your shit. I want half of it. And he's like, is this his ex-wife? Like, what's going on? Because his dad actually said yes. We'll come back to that. Why did he even say yes in the first place, right? But just go with the story. That he said, here, take half my shit. And in a moment's notice, he woke up in the middle of the night, snuck out to start a new life of cocaine, prostitutes, everything you could imagine under the sun. No, not Ecclesiastes. He did a lot, guys. He lived fast and he lived hard. Until one day, he realized it wasn't so easy out there. The famine came. He didn't have a job. He ran out of money. Hunter Biden, Actually, there was 2 sons, but one's dead. Sorry, Joe. And eventually, he came back because he realized it was hard out here. And he says, guys, I'm not even good enough to be my father's son anymore. In fact, I'm barely good enough to be his slave, servant. Depends on your Hebrew. And he came back. And to his surprise, he wasn't his dad's slave. No. He was welcomed with open arms. His dad was overjoyed to have him back. He threw a party. He killed the fatted calf. All the 9 yards you could think of. I like my Muslim hat. Speaking of which, it doesn't really fit for this story.
Very Middle Eastern, though.
That's right, very Middle Eastern. I'm putting myself in the story. I'll switch it for each.
Imagine you're in the Bible.
That's right. Get deep, fellas. And so what happened to the other brother? Well, you could guess that he heard about this through the grapevine. Through the grapevine of the other servants talking to him as he was out in the field. Your brother came back. Aren't you so happy? And he goes, what's the deal with this party they're throwing over there for him? He was gone. I've been here the whole time. Fuck this guy. He left and wasted all my dad's money. Why y'all throwing a party? He confronted his dad and said, fuck you, Dad. What are you doing with this guy? He ain't no good. To which his dad replied, my son was dead and he is now alive. He was lost and he is now found. Wow. And that's the story of the prodigal son.
He was in reverie in the real world.
Boom!
Lost.
I like that. That's like half a point right there.
Thanks.
What was the prodigal son? What was he leaving? I don't know. You guys have any first impressions? Because I could get to my conclusion after. Did you take anything for that, Marco? What did you feel when you heard that? Are you the older son or are you the younger son?
I actually kind of liked that ending in a bit. I guess the act of coming back.
Continue.
I guess the act of coming back showed that he realized his mistakes, but maybe that's too naive.
Right.
Like, I kind of understand where the dad's coming from, but what about if he just came back because he can easily mooch off the dad again?
Right.
Is that really a dead son coming back or a spirit coming back to haunt you before it curses you again before leaving?
I like it because 2 parts of that story stick out. Like, one is he did admit to himself, supposedly in the story, that I'm no good to even be my father's son anymore. You know, I suppose that's aiming to him learning his lesson. And really the final line, which I don't want to jump on anyone's toes, y'all could jump in at any time, but when he said, my son was dead and now is back to life. I don't know, that spoke to me because it's just like, hey, I lost him. He was dead. He learned his lesson now. He knows the value. He didn't have what he needed before, and maybe he needed to go out into the world and get it. But I'll get deeper, but go, Poach.
I would totally agree with Mitch. The son would not even be relevant if he did not die. The father would have. That's a point. Honestly, the father would have forgotten about his son, who is living but not living.
That's what he did with the younger one.
He would have forgotten about him until his son, until he found out that his living son had died.
Right.
And he had to actually care for him. He would have thought that his living son was just living as a farce. He would have just always imagined him as the gambling prodigal son. He would have never known that his son even needed him until he died.
Deep. And also the part that I left out a little bit is when the older brother came to bitch to the dad, his dad also kind of said, hey, don't worry, what's mine is yours, but my son has come back from the dead. You know, also even putting his mind at ease too. It's like, hey, you're not less than, but like when you think someone has died and he came back, like that's a cause for celebration. I'm not saying I'm on one side or the other, at least not to the end.
But it's obvious that the one son would be a little concerned. Like, hey, Dad, I worked.
Yeah, I've been working.
I've the one been working for the past 10 years, and all of a sudden, Prodigal comes in. And
this asshole Prodigal.
And now he's like, your best friend, Dad, what's up?
Yeah.
You know,
what's
like, I would be a little concerned, too. But he's like, yo, don't worry. He has his own.
And that's what's deep, because you could feel for the 2 sides of it, right? It's like, you need to learn your lesson, but you also, they're like, that asshole.
That Prodigal.
Those are like the deep allegories.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah, fuck you. Thanks for your input, Ryan, even though it was just fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for adding to the show.
I'm taking it all
Taking it all in. All right, we're going to lead to your big conclusion at the end.
Sure.
Yeah.
He might as well have died, though. Because he did hit rock bottom.
In a way, he was dead.
He died. I bet you he died to the dad when he left. The moment he left, maybe the first story came in of what he's doing drugs.
Damn, that's like
Getting
a half
all the-
point. I like that. That's fucking
Getting all
sad.
the prostitutes and everything, right? But maybe the reason why he gave him the money in the first place was because the original statement, right? That he said to the younger son at the end, "What's mine is yours. Don't wear it."
Right.
So maybe he gave it to him in good faith, saying, "All right, let's see what you do. What'd you learn? Can you spread your wings and fly?"
Right.
He failed. He went deep. He fell off the deep end. He died.
Yes.
To the dad.
He did.
He's
die.
lost. He's using all my money. He's forgetting about what we're building as a family. It's done. He's killing it right there. But when he came back, and also something that kind of changed my mind originally is that statement that he was made in the story where he realizes he's not even good enough to be his father's slave. Right, that's pretty big too.
That's a big one.
I was kind of disregarding that with my initial statement.
Right.
But once he learns that, he realizes what it means, I guess, to have a strong family and just group to work with. Came back as a son, alive and ready to be a part of the family again. Probably even much better than he would have ever been if he had stayed.
And what I like about the Bible, too, is that it really seems, anyway, especially if you think it's divinely inspired, what have you, it's just like, it almost seems like no phrase is out of place when it comes to the Bible. In so many ways, like, it's no accident that it was put in there, that he's talking to himself when he's hitting rock bottom. It was a rock bottom moment. He hit rock bottom. He was in the depth of the acid trip, which spoils my secret interpretation that it's really just all about the mind. He left. He was in reverie. That's a point for me. He was distant, even though I planned this moment.
Fake.
Provoked.
Take it away from him.
Hey, wait a second.
Yes.
All right, if everybody hates it, that's fine. Overrules. I can't win anyway, so that's fine. Oh, I totally forgot to do this. But he reset it, so we're good. I don't have a remote. Yes, I do. But what do you guys think about the idea that it's all part of the mind?
Because when in doubt, it always goes back to the mind.
I don't know how to use this either.
The Bible? The stories?
The story of the mind, right? He was distant.
I've always said to you, like, as someone who's not religious, right? The thing I like the most about the stories that you've said from the Bible or that I know is that they are the archetypal stories.
That's a good word.
Right? Like, they are stories that can be passed down through time as long as it's been around, right? Been relevant, that you can reflect and use to learn something from in your day-to-day life, depending on how you want to interpret it too. Of course, I have to add that.
You got to be deep, right?
Yeah.
Much like Terrence said, psychedelics don't work on stupid people. And it's like, I don't know if you guys believe that. You guys
I do.
We got a yes.
I've talked to
Damn it,
people
Ryan.
who have tried, mushrooms and stuff, like, oh, it didn't really affect me.
Yeah.
And all right. And I was like,
It didn't affect me.
And I was like, for me, it just kind of opens the mind more, clears it, gives you new thoughts, new things to think about.
Ryan, you are so deep.
I'm trying.
I call
because
bullshit.
listening to you guys, like, I don't know the Bible that much. I did take, like, religion classes, that stuff,
Yep.
but it's like,
But I know psychedelic
I
class.
do, man. I do.
Dude, I call bullshit on every single person that's ever said that to you, unless they were given something that wasn't like actually strong or whatever.
Something
It was
affects
reishi
someone.
mushrooms. Was eating portobello. All right. Make a note.
Brandy said that same
1
bullshit to
minute
me.
and 23 seconds.
Boom. Continue.
Brandy said that same bullshit to me. She didn't feel anything from it, and I know for a fact she was just lying out her ass.
Yeah.
Something.
Like, there's
What do you
just
think happened though? Lying out her ass.
what I think happens to those people is like they must be hit with something like that they kind of can't confront. Like a lot of people talk about psychedelics in general. They talk about how it helps you come to terms with a lot of things, resetting of habits and stuff like that. But I feel like there are certain type of people, and Brandy fit that bill perfectly, of type person to be confronted by it and then just hate absolutely everything they're seeing, which is totally fine, but so much to the core that they will fight off even admitting that they're feeling something just to believe the lie they're telling themselves internally so much.
Well, that's just having a bad trip, man.
I mean, you could,
But something will always affect someone somehow, like Mark was saying, like how they're trying to push away because they don't want what's coming to them because they don't know what's gonna happen.
right.
Look, on some level, I even disagree with that, because having a bad trip and what those people are describing or what Brain described to me is something different. And on some level, when you have a bad trip, are on some level accepting what you're seeing, right? You have to, in order to even acknowledge you're having a bad trip, you have to understand that something is wrong with what you're seeing or feeling and something like that. And Mitch and I have always said there's no such thing as a bad trip. No. It's just your perspective on it, and you don't want to see the truth that's being told to you. I mean, you can take later when you're sober, you can come and be like, all right, that was just complete utter nonsense. I was freaking out of nothing. But most of the time, it's like, I'm a piece of shit, and I don't want to admit that.
It's in that moment, and they don't want to realize, like, feel that moment, because it could be a true moment that they're having that it's just they need to embrace.
Look, I'll even say now that Brandy's clean and been clean for years and stuff like that, if she were to take that same exact dose, I bet she'd have a completely different story to tell.
Interesting. What was the dose? Like, you know, she took.
Oh no, we had a quarter split between the two of us, so an eighth each.
What was it?
She was puking at the end of it all. So like, you're clearly feeling something.
Yeah.
No, the entire time, dude. I know. I feel it. I often feel like I need to throw up at the beginning because I'm trying to almost fighting that initial change of state of mind. Yeah. But the entire time she was puking, she was fighting the thing the entire time. Funny. That's what I'm saying. Like, she had her guard up the entire time. She didn't want to accept what was happening.
Was this mushrooms?
Mushrooms.
That's the whole idea with ayahuasca too. Is like, it's gonna happen, the purge. You know, because that shit's intense. But like, I imagine it could happen with mushrooms too. It's hard to get yourself in that mindset, especially like a trippy.
And it doesn't help that you don't know when it's coming. Like, you could feel it, but when is it really gonna hit?
You feel it in your arms, man.
You know what I mean? You start waving
feel
your
it in
hands
the
around
arms. And, oh shit, it's coming. Actually, it's different. I think it's different for the species. Psychedelic Mushroom Survival Guide. No, I don't know what the fuck it's Bible. Different. One variety, it came up my spine, like from my pelvis, and attached on the top of my head like that. You know, and I was like, oh shit.
Before too.
Yeah, man. So there's a few different varieties.
Something like instantly, like, just kind of like eyes went big. Things were all like, embrace. Damn. Embrace what's happening.
Something I've always been really curious about. Yeah. We're talking about having to kind of let go and the come up, and that's change of mind. Not that I'm advocating for the use of drugs, even now, like, as someone who has and whatever, I don't, right? But what do you think of people who are so adamantly against, like, let's say, I won't even, like, smoking a joint or taking psychedelics? Are they just very sure in themselves and don't need to question themselves? Or is there something to, like, not wanting to lose your sense of control, or what you feel like is this little box you put yourself into, and you don't want to mess that up at all, and you don't want to risk that?
I think it's the second part you said.
I think it's the second one too.
Do you think it could be the stability, the first part? You think it even could be?
Look,
I'm leaning toward two, but like, I wonder if it's possible to be one.
Their brain is so stable, so perfect, so on point that they don't need to expand anymore.
Ryan, I'm gonna give you a point. That's the first deep thing I heard.
Everyone at least once should have their mind open up a little way, shape, or form. Right. Mushrooms, smoking weed. Acid.
So, like, one of Marco's friends told me one time, she's like, man, you think I should trip? And I'll always stick by this advice, I think. And I says, if you are perfectly happy with every facet of your life that you could even name or think of right now, don't take it. But if you have a little insecurity, if you have nightmares, you better take that shit. Well, I won't advocate either.
Yeah, no, don't advocate, but just say, like, it's at least once.
It has medicinal purposes.
From my two options, I'd say it's, if you were to take 1,000 people, even maybe there's 2 that fit option 1. It's possible,
right? I always wanted
but you have to be really fucking good.
Yeah,
you probably are someone who eats extremely healthy, meditates, really studious person, kind, and all the you're basically, I don't even know what word to use right now.
You gotta have good parents too. I realize too, because like the trauma that returns, that's what a lot of the psychedelics is. It's like dealing with past trauma and really reliving it and feeling it to the fullest, because we get trauma a lot of the times when something negative happens and we retreat from it. We don't stand up to the dragon, man. And when you run from the dragon,
man,
you have to boo, how do I put this? You have to face the dragon at some point. You know, if you want to live. If you're not going to face it now, that's fine. Maybe that's what the Hindus were talking about, karma. That's fine. But you're going to face that dragon one day. You are. And whether it's in psychedelics or if you want to die on your hands and knees praying that God take you and bring you to the pearly gates.
The prodigal son fought the dragon.
He fought the dragon, man. Evan, bringing it back. That's a half point.
Thank you.
Dope. The prodigal son. So I like to see it as, maybe not an acid trip, but thoughts. We can be distant on a day-to-day basis. This could be momentary. This could be a lifetime. That's what I think about the Bible sometimes. I have this trip that the Bible isn't a story about Israel at all, It's a story about life. Birth to death. It's about your life. You're reading your life. You're born, you don't know how. There's two sides of the coin. Exodus, you escape from Egypt. You go out into the world. You wander in the desert because you don't know who you are, and you have to go through the struggle, much like the prodigal son. And if you're wise enough to return and not fall into the shadow of the valley of death, I should probably sit up more in that one, but it's a funny shot.
He's tired, folks. He wrestled us.
The cut is like right here. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm relaxing here.
Mitch kicked our ass before the show. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Every single one of us.
We'll keep it on main, Mitch.
Oh, yeah. Ryan, your big conclusion.
Oh, man.
He's been taking it in, folks.
I've been taking this in.
He's been taking it in.
All it's like, if you don't go out, you don't get experience. You're stuck.
Ron, you are G.
You're stuck in this never-ending loop, and yeah,
So what I hear you saying is,
nice.
You got to risk it for the biscuit.
Oh,
risk it for the biscuit.
Evan gets a point for that. That was amazing.
Nice.
Oh, and the phrase of the day is, "What goes up must come down."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boom. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but that was fun.
And that kind of works with what we were just talking about. What goes up must come down. Because you go out into the world, think you're gonna experience all these things, and then those things start bringing you down. And then it's time to go back home.
But
even with the psychedelic too.
What goes out must come back. All right, Ryan gets a half point.
But it was
for that.
down then up.
Today's a half point day. This is great. Yeah.
Does that mean we're not good enough, or we're just
different? What's that?
Does that mean we're not good enough in general, or we're doing a little better, and you got to give some recognition?
Damn. Yeah. I feel like I'm giving a full point when I'm like, oh. That's my new metric if I'm screaming.
1-0.
Yeah, boom. All right, guys. I want to keep it with the theology and move on a little bit here. Do a little challenging theology. You guys are keeping up with the biblical stuff, especially you, Ryan. You did it.
I tried.
It took to the big conclusion, but you got it, man. Let's keep on that same wave because I want to ask you guys a question. What's the deal? That's my question. What's the deal? What's the deal with all the ancients and all the religions talking about desire? Almost all of them, mostly the Buddhism, but branches of that talk about thou shalt not desire. You shall not want, at least in this world, they say. Should we want in this world? What is it proper to want in this world, if it is anything at all? And why is it that Psalms 23 says, the Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I lack?
Anything you want, you don't have. That's why it hurts so much.
Ooh, can you want something that you have? What can you have? The first thought that came to my head is like maybe a wife. Like you have a wife and you maybe still want her, but do you ever have her in the first place? That's just my train of thought.
You just want another one.
You just want another, baby. I want two. Okay, he's with your theory. That's good. You want something else that you don't have. Baby, you ever thought about adding some spice to the bedroom? Like,
someone else.
Bringing 7 virgins into the mix?
Or do you want the wife that you don't have?
Look, I've never really liked lumping desire as to something something negative, right?
Yeah.
I understand in a sense that desire is maybe like a root of evil in a sense. But at the end of the day, we inhabit the physical world. It's not, I don't think it's wrong for us to desire things if we go about trying to make that desire reality in a healthy way. Like I can desire to have a nice house, and to do that, I know I need to get a good job and work hard, and so I can afford that one day. Is that a bad thing to have desired that house?
Damn, we got Marco arguing for desire
on a certain level, in a healthy way.
On a healthy way. Okay, Marco says it could be healthy. There could be a healthy form of desire.
Right. This also goes.
Then why did they say it in the ancient text? I guess what I'm asking too on top.
Because it goes back to like one of our early episodes where I mentioned talking to Kevin, right, and him saying that. He always desires more. When is enough, right? Like, how much money can you make until you say...
75,000.
Dude, he's making $250,000 with $60K bonuses, and it's not enough.
Is that why he's depressed? Oh, man. Man, even that not enough, that's interesting, right? Because that goes in with the desire thought. He's like, you always want more. Mm-hmm. But then they say people who have 75,000 are like, I'm good. Of course, it's funny. Maybe he feels, I think this is typical amongst a lot of people, it's not enough for the work that he supposes he's doing, I think is a big part. Because if you were going to do more work, if you were going to supplement, if you're going to get a side hustle, everyone's always complaining. I think, BLM will complain about racism, and then, Kevin will complain that $250,000 is not enough.
Well,
what's the difference?
You have to be realistic. If he's looking and saying, I make $250,000, but this guy above me is making $500,000.
You see it.
And I know I'm better than him.
Oh,
but
man.
I can't because of X, Y, and Z. Okay, now he wants more. But that has to come with like a real sense of realism. You really have to understand your limits, what you can do. Everyone can say that. Everyone can look. Even I think that right now. I think I am not getting paid enough for what I do.
Right.
But am I just thinking that because I think too highly of myself, ego, whatever? Or am I taking the time to look at what I'm doing, analyzing against what other people are doing in the same position, and saying, hey, I am not being fairly compensated, so I desire more.
Look at this logical mind over
This is why desire on some level isn't a bad thing. Okay. It's when you desire... If it's when, let's say, he's only desiring it because he just wants more money. Right. He just wants to be someone more than he already is because entire selfishness. On some level, too, that's not the worst thing because it gives birth to certain geniuses.
So, Marco, I have a question for you. Would you advocate taking a position for a title with no like financial gain, just like, oh, it's a better title. Like it just sounds cooler. People will look at you.
Your mom will be proud of you.
Your mom will be proud. You walk down the hallway, they'll be like, wow, that's Marco, the XXX title guy.
That's Marco.
That's he's Marco, the big shot.
Yeah.
Women do.
I mean, jokes on me if I'm not getting paid really, really much, and I now have all these people looking at me. I think that's
what I'm saying. Like, do you think it's worth it? Do you think there's value in that?
Depends how good at marketing you are.
I can say,
Depends how good at marketing you are. Can you turn that into something in the future after you're done and use that position to gain further?
That's the thing. Like, where does it end?
So, can I say this? Would you rather, what Poach said, be called a hot shot, this because of your title, or have the extra raise and then have people go, oh, there's Marco? Because you have more money, and then they're going to start thinking about other ways about you, because like, oh, you probably took the job because of money, not how this and that. But if like you just get the title, and then people are like, oh, he's probably doing a good job that they gave him that. Because, he didn't take the money. He didn't want the money.
Yeah. Yeah, that second one may get under my skin every now and again, but I would love to say that I'll take the second one any day and not give a fuck what anyone really thinks. Because if I'm still doing a good job, they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, and I agree that anyone would take the second one because people desire more money.
I don't think it's about comparison to others. I think it's about you feel guilty the more stuff you have, and you can't even enjoy the time. Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
You think it's guilt? Okay.
There's the more responsibility you have, more you get compensated. But sure, less time you have to do what you actually want.
That's a point. I like that, Evan. Shit. All right, I'm gonna take that one step further. That kind of seems like, dare I say, sort of like the left-leaning mentality, the guilt. I feel terrible for what I have. But what if you know that you deserve it? There's plenty of those out there too, right?
And the guilt of not doing what you want to do.
And not doing what you want to do. What does that mean?
The people who make $75,000 salary, it's just enough balance of responsibility and compensation to totally leave it all at the door when you come home for your leisure time.
And if you're living that life, we're all sort of living a slight life of desire, if you're a part of it. Marco argues that in a balanced world, it's probably the best. It's okay if you have the proper intentions, if that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. But to go off what Evan just said, I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more?
The Lord is my shepherd, there's nothing I lack. Why do I not lack? Why is there nothing that I lack? Because the Lord is my shepherd. I want to know why, guys. Why did they say desire was so bad? What if you're wrong? I'm going to be Marco's devil's advocate. Why did they say this? They said, Marco, you're wrong. That's what they said. That's what the ancients were.
Yeah, it says the more you have, the more you lack, in a sense.
Yes. The Lord is my shepherd. There is nothing that I lack.
Because Jesus said on other occasions, if you want peace and to be with God, drop everything and follow me.
Oh, yeah. There was the one rich guy who said, God, he's like, Jesus, I got money. I got bitches.
Exactly.
And he's just like, but I'm still not happy. He said, did you sell everything yet? And the dude walked away with his head down.
I don't want to do that.
He was like, Jesus, come on. I mean, you're asking a lot. I'll come to your prayer services. I'll drink some wine with you. I'll even stay away from prostitutes. But I got a lot of stuff. For his possessions were many.
Maybe it's easier for me to not really think about this because I'm not religious. But
because it ties in with the concept of heaven. That's what I was going to say. Because it's almost like store up your treasures for life after death. That's what they also say. That this world isn't as important. But sorry.
Oh, I guess.
You know what I mean? If you believe in heaven, this almost hinges off of believing in heaven to a certain degree. That's why Jesus said it.
Because people desire to get into heaven.
I feel like you can make some kind of connection there between Evan's
heaven
working a job that you like, right, and being enough for you, versus I'm of the mindset nowadays that I don't care what job I work as long as I get compensated enough so that when I'm done with work, I can do what I really want to do. I can enjoy the time I have off. Because even if I really enjoy it, I feel like there's still gonna always be good and bad days, even in a job you love.
Mark, I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't think there's enough reward in a full-time job to give you that.
Deep.
I don't think you're ever gonna have that time.
There's a half point for Poach.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, no. The goal would be to, I think I said this in the first episode, to have it so that you get to a point where you make enough money where you can work a little bit but have most of your time to focus on yourself.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you'll ever get to that point
where
you have enough money to have that little slice for yourself. That slice is gonna be, my girlfriend, and then my parents, and then my house, and then my this, and then my that. You'll never, that slice that you're slicing for yourself will never be your slice.
You're saying it always grows as, I guess, my desire grows.
Is that a full point? I think that you could finish off that half point into a full, baby.
The more you
Poach,
have,
I gotta agree.
The more you leave behind.
Is that a song?
No, I don't think so. I just came up with it now.
The more you have, the more you leave behind.
Poach was saying, people desire that little slice that they want.
Did you like my song, Ryan?
I loved it.
Oh, awesome. That little slice, baby.
A little slice. Just want a slice.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, coming from a religious perspective, guys, Mitch here with his old crazy conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and again, like Marco, I'm talking,
Ryan. I don't care. I was right in the middle of my point. You're like, I'm gonna start a new point. I was gonna totally start from scratch. God, now you done maybe lost it. No, I think from a religious perspective, if you believe in God, God believes in you, baby. Like, if you are there with him for the journey, you're never alone. He'll take care of you. Look no farther than the Sermon on the Mount. Y'all remember the Sermon on the Mount? I can't really say it word for word, but he says, the lilies in the field and the birds in the trees, they take care of themselves. I should say, I take care of you, God. And yeah, you think you're so different as a human? You think you got to do stuff? You're worried?
The birds aren't worried.
You have anxiety? You have depression? What are you doing? You're not my son. You're not my son or daughter. And that's Mitch's take on the situation. Ryan, back to you.
I forgot now. You yelled at me.
Sorry.
You made him nervous.
Positive atmosphere. Sorry, guys. But if you want, we can move on a little bit. Everyone get it off their chest? Are we good?
Yeah,
I got it off my chest.
Yeah, no,
dope, Poach. That was hot.
Like I just
hottest
said
take.
real quick, I'm not really religious like Marco either, so I'm just taking this.
Ooh, this is good, yeah.
Because I can see things on a non-religious way, as in like the want, as the desire, the want. Like I want things, I desire things, but I'm working to get the things I want.
All right, let me toss it to you, Ryan. Then why would they say? Well, we always end it with you on his big thing. Ryan's big concluding thought. Why did they say it though? I get what you're saying. I totally get it.
They say it because how they said God was like, don't desire. Because people will start desiring the wrong things.
You think so?
So
like don't even desire at all.
Prostitutes,
desire.
Doesn't
that mean God doesn't trust you?
Maybe
God's
not.
like, you's a bitch, dog.
Maybe not.
You can't make them decisions. You'd have to believe in free will, I suppose.
Exactly. Free will. Do whatever happens.
Yeah.
Day by day.
Day by day.
Whatever happens.
Is that a point?
I usually don't like meaningless tautologies. But I'll give you a half point for that.
Que sera, sera.
Que sera. I also don't like French.
That's Spanish.
Damn it. Let's see. C'est la vie.
Oh.
It's too late to bring it.
Sorry. Do I get a point now, guys?
No.
Let's see.
Negative point.
Damn.
We lost our one French subscriber.
Little Saint is disappointed.
Damn.
Guys, we're talking a lot. Let's talk about some definitions. Let's define them.
My favorite.
This one's for you.
Fat beats.
Oh.
I like
Fat
that one.
beats. Oh, the song?
That was a good one.
Oh, hell yeah. Damn. Well, look at that. You guys on a good show. Let me tell you. This one's a little loose, right? But we're going to define some definition. I recently discovered, off of our topic from last week, actually, that... What were we talking about? How the role of parents, right? Like, what does it mean to parent? And I suppose I want to get a little deeper on that. As a main topic, but also discovered that there's actually a word for this, guys. In Latin, literally, the same word for children is the same word for freedom and liberty.
Whoa.
It's the same word, liberi. 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 It's the same word, as if I didn't know.
You sound like a library?
Library. Yes. I knew someone was going to talk about library. And actually, liber is inner tree bark in Latin, which became a book, which then became library, which is not related. It just happens to be a similar word. But
So you're telling me there was a library?
you telling me there's free children at a library?
Oh, God.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
seriously.
Joe.
How does that relate to libations?
Libations. I don't know. This is getting too deep. I'm going to stick to this. I don't know. I'm not a scholar. But yeah, isn't that super interesting? I was just talking last week that I didn't even like the idea for parent because there's almost like a freedom of a child. And I'm not going to argue any transgender sex shows. But it's just like, what? But what is going on? Like, I think we have so much feeling that there is this power over the child. When the definition in Latin, in Rome, was free. It's literally where liberty comes from. It's that you should be able to be free, be your own person, experience this life on your own throughout the lens someone else has given you.
Damn, but then the child is destined for the opposite of freedom.
What's that? Why you say that?
Not with good parents.
Right, but to be bound with the chains of life, the opposite of freedom. Just growing into adulthood, you lose that freedom.
That's what makes children so special.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. You got to give me beginning, middle, and end.
I'm just saying children lose their freedom over time. They can only be free at that time in their life.
Why?
Because that's a good question.
Yeah, based on the last thing we said, they're always free if they're with God.
Well,
It's just like, why do they feel like you have to impose your will as a parent? I get it. And much like all these opinions, I always get it. I understand. Don't make the same mistakes I did. But at the same time, they're not going to. It's just kind of logic. They're going to live their own life. They're going to go to a different school. They're going to have different friends. The best you can do is guide. That's why it says defying definition. The word parent is better as like genetic guardian or guider of sorts.
Yeah,
protecting the bad, especially if there's the father and mother. And that's the real ideal, where the mother can show them love and how to interact and how to appreciate people. But the father could push them out into the world and say, hey, go scrape your knees.
I think what Evan's trying to say is that at some point,
I hear you saying
just
this.
the reality
of
life will come to get them in terms of like they need to work to put food on the table or in their stomachs. They have to assimilate somehow.
Assimilate, that's a good word.
Right? We can't all just be completely free. If we want to
The
make
Romans
it past.
say different, Marco.
Oh, that's why I fell.
yeah, because when
Well, I can tell you a lot of reasons.
when
why.
does a child stop
that
being
too.
a child? So when does
That's a
child
good
stop
question.
being
Oh,
free?
Deep.
You know,
And do they stop being free? Okay, I'll give you half point. Ryan, you are killing it.
I'm trying, dude.
And
Are children always free? Because technically, just the definition of child is liberi. But once you become an adult, you have a different word for adult and a different role depending on who you are.
And when does a parent stop being a parent? And I just think
deep.
parent doesn't really, that word doesn't hold enough weight for what it is. The genetic guardian.
Right.
Guardian.
What'd you say? Guardian what?
Genetic guardian.
Genetic
That was
guardian, I like that.
But even without the word genetic, just guardian.
Yeah.
Because
I suppose guardian.
Because then you think about like someone who's been adopted.
want to be more
They-
specific.
those people, they're parents, but yet they're their guardian.
Right, like it's the same role. Yeah. I can't see why not, right?
So-
It is the same exact role.
I guess I just looked up the Latin word for adult and it's adultus, which means to grow up or reach maturity.
Ooh.
Someone who has reached maturity or full grown status. So I guess that does bring up that question right back. Like, when does that happen? Because you lose that freedom when that happens, like what I've been saying. Like on some level, you can, in your heart, still feel like you're a child and be free. Yeah? But on some level you cross this path.
Marco,
Ooh, that's to imply that at some point you're not free. Maybe. I'm just
because of life.
When did you think you weren't free anymore?
Don't ask me that. When I was a kid, man. I'm real young.
I can't say it on the internet.
Because I feel like once you stop being free is when you get like your first job, because you start earning your own money. You have to start buying things yourself.
Okay, I like it. That's a good definition. Anyone else?
I never felt free. I think this is a conversation to have with Mitch. Like, I don't think
You gotta love Marco. He's the pessimist.
Never
Guys, I don't know about this freedom
I
nonsense.
genuinely feel like I never got the chance to understand who I am at a young age. So I
agree
took
with
me
Marco.
Oh, we got two
I'm
over
giving
here.
him a point.
Hey,
I
All right, give him a half point.
It must be the Eastern European thing again, coming right back.
Wow.
You must do this, son. You must play the violin and swim and do this.
Now, do you think that's just because of shitty parents?
Probably.
Or do you think it's more of an inherent thing?
Yeah, it's just parents, man. They
think
don't
that's
allow
always gonna be
the
how it
children
is?
to be free because I know better.
Damn, do you think that's the curse of parenthood?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's easy. I know this whole section is defying definition, but we're not kind of doing that, right?
Yeah.
So
we're doing
saying,
something.
So I'm saying
getting there.
your guardians were more of a parent figure, more of a
More like a
Right, if
superior
we're using our
figure.
definition. Yeah, I agree.
Mandatory violining kind of convolutes what the word art is supposed to be about. It's like art isn't supposed to be
Damn,
forced.
that's a good one. That's another half point.
It was more like a mandatory piano. I don't know what Marco.
Oh, yeah,
but for me,
it doesn't matter.
Mandatory piano.
For the rest of us that didn't need to take musical classes, we have genetic guardians now. Wow, what was it? You guys at
I don't know what Marco. What did you suffer?
yeah,
through?
what'd you suffer through?
All right, wait. In terms of what?
Music.
Music?
And
Forced
why do you
music.
feel that you don't have a genetic guardian, that you have a parent? That's what I want to know.
So today on Dr. Phil,
Damn. Today on Dr. Wisdom.
ancient Dr. Wisdom.
Paging Dr. Wisdom.
I understand that as an adult, like if I know I'm gonna know more than my kids, right? In terms of like what
I
to
see,
do.
Marco.
But
I know
what I don't know more than them is what they want and how they want to be free. Not saying that I also, as a parent, let's not go down that path you mentioned earlier of not having some rules and boundaries. If you
so you don't want your son to be Tesla. You're okay with
really?
your son.
No, I'm really okay with my son not being Tesla. I want him to figure out what he wants, and then I can help him guide.
Oh, see, I agree with
that goal.
I totally agree with that.
With all the knowledge that I've gained throughout my life, I can help him get to that goal.
Good.
Tell me what you heard him saying.
Like, not gonna force.
He didn't say the line, but it's okay.
What
you gotta say,
I hear you say is
boom.
You're not going to force your child to do things. You're going to let them experience things, but kind of, like you said, guide them. Like, I know what this is, so I'm going to show you maybe what to do or what not to do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guide you to the left or right.
And they're free to make choices. I mean, I think up to a certain extent, right? Let's not go run wild. They're not going to go
Marco and his
cause mischief, right? Yeah, balance and everything. That's important.
I would let my child get into mischief and stuff because that's how they'll learn.
A little ding dong ditch never hurt anyone, all right? You know,
except for that old lady who fell trying to get to that door.
Yeah,
I'll be right there. It takes her a half hour to get there.
Because that's what the children need is more of a guidance than someone.
So what Ryan is saying is that guardian, even genetic guardian, is not good enough for him. He wants guider / guardian.
Sensei.
He wants a sensei.
Exactly.
To guide and guard. Actually, the sensei wouldn't guard. He'd just guide.
Unless he knew Kung Fu.
Oh, maybe. No, he'd let you get your ass kicked.
Oh, yeah, he would.
I think that's part of the training.
You learn now?
Yeah, that's what you'll want to do.
Did you learn from your mistake?
You have to fight the dragon.
Yes.
You gotta fight the dragon.
You gotta lose.
I feel like that's such a masculine thing to say. It's like you guys don't even care about this child. Don't you even care?
I'm sorry. Can't take that seriously.
Don't you care about love?
This child how
what
to
about
fight
kindness? What about being sweet?
That's what mom's for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess there's just a bunch of dudes here.
It was
I'm sorry.
sweet.
That's
going to
get me canceled.
You're like, fuck that. Who needs a woman? Don't put words in my mouth, Mitch.
And when Marco was saying he wanted to guide his son to be the next Tesla,
Sure.
I just feel like that's not guiding. I feel like that's desiring.
No, that's what my dad.
In a way, it's parenting.
Half point.
That's good. I actually really agree with that. My dad always desired to be a big soccer player, for example, football, and he just never was. So he was really upset with me for my entire childhood that I didn't like soccer.
He was really.
He never let it go.
He hated me.
To become what I wanted to be.
Yeah. It's because he desired something and he wanted to see it through.
This is why he's a philosopher.
Through someone else.
That's why he has his own Chinese background.
See, I would desire my child to be whatever they wanted to be.
Damn.
You know, I would guide them in whatever path they would want.
Is guiding letting though?
I don't want to put my plates on.
I mean, guiding is like, you know, like go that way if you want. If you want, I'll guide you this way. But if you want to go this way, if you desire to go this way, you know, if the child desires to go right and you tell them to go left.
Whoa.
It's all about
there's like this counterintuitive nature, right? Oh, this is deep, right? I'm just having this thought. You say go this way, let him go the way he wants to go. But then if you guide him this way, the way he desires to go, but you want to guide him the other way, that's you desiring
what you want out of your child.
Whoa, that's deep. They fight each other.
Now I have a question to pose.
I'll give you that half.
Do you think that everyone thinks this and that at some point like you set your boundaries and that's where things start getting messed up, right? We all probably are saying we want to guide our kids, but there are also things that we don't want to guide them towards or don't want them to. We will put our foot down and
that's a half
else.
Point for Marco.
There will always be stuff you don't want your child to be like influenced by or guided to because you don't want them to get all fucked up.
Or are you saying, Marco, that the child has to set up his boundaries? That's what I heard from that. What I hear you saying is...
Because it's encroaching on the freedom.
Yeah, right? I think at a certain point, especially through adolescence, you get to a stage where, Dad, I'll tell you what to do!
Right. Your
And it's like
freedom's
there's a
disappeared.
way to guide,
Yeah.
but and maybe that's the point of Liberi becoming adultus.
So that just brings one question to my head. Like, am I supposed to guide my child if he wants to become a gang member or once at 6 years old to
This is heavy.
change his gender? Right? I don't believe in that as a person.
Yeah.
I think that's before not even touching the subject, that's way too young to be making such a decision.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it'll come up organically. You'll just
So,
say like, I
but
wouldn't
we
do
say
it, but
yeah, but we say yeah, no way. But there's happening all over
gangbang.
the place.
Yeah, no, it is because that's what they desire, because they see other people being that gang member, doing that violence or whatever
Right.
they're doing. They desire that because that's what they want.
So is that happening because I failed to guide them the proper way?
If you still try to guide them away, like let's say they're getting into the gang violence and you're trying to guide them out of it, they still will desire the gang violence. It doesn't matter if you want to guide them the way. You can try to guide
Right.
them how you want to guide them. They're still going to desire what they want to desire.
But
because the children is free and the
children
they'll
is
do
free,
what
yo.
they want to do, even if you still try to stop them.
But did they end up going that way because I did not guide them correctly? And by
That's their
even
choice.
saying that, by even saying I did not guide them correctly, I think I lose the entire point of letting them guide themselves entirely,
Well,
which is the most difficult part about this.
like saying if they join a gang or get into some hardcore stuff and you try to guide them out, you can warn them. You could get shot, you could get arrested, jailed for lots of years. Once they start thinking about that, maybe they'll start leaning towards your guidance, and then they'll become something else that they desire.
Be one of those parents that put them on TV with put them in jail.
The people
Shit.
on the Scared Straight.
Scared straight, yeah.
That's a whole different thing. Because
No, yeah.
that's just insane. I would love
Marco,
to.
honestly, this whole conversation makes me just want to be like more like my dad to a kid. Like everything I'm hearing, I'm just gonna copy my dad. Like this sounds
took the
terrible. I'm
opposite.
just gonna go with what my dad
No,
did.
fucking kids are stupid.
Yeah, they're fucking stupid. They don't know what they're
This is
doing.
a terrible idea. Whatever you guys are saying.
Dad's I have point, but I'll give Coach a full point. That was hot. Yeah, it's just like, wait, all this freedom nonsense. I don't like this.
I'm just gonna go with what my dad did.
I don't like this one bit. It's funny. Wait, so this is deep. I see a lot about seeing, right? You say you need to see to desire, Ryan. You need to see the gangbang, and this is such an extreme. example. Hey, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's all hard.
But I gotta go along with what you're saying. So you see gangbanging in the street.
Yeah, you see gangbang in the streets, and then
And then you're like, that
"Oh,
sounds
that's
cool. Guns and shit. Damn.
Wow.
That sounds
Because
wild.
they also
Bitches.
see the money,
Oh,
and they want the
man.
money because they desire
Fat
to be
stacks?
rich.
Yeah,
Fat
right.
stacks, agree.
But then, in the case of Scared Straight,
Yeah.
you also got to see the negative side of that. You have to
yeah.
experience, because you don't learn unless you experience, and I think that's the biggest problem for the parental figure, let's say, which is that you know that some things can only be learned through experience.
Yeah. Because you don't learn from experience. I mean, you do learn from experience, but you can't get that experience unless you see. And, yeah, man. That's what I think.
You gotta see.
You gotta see.
You gotta see to be, baby.
You gotta see to be, man. You gotta see.
You gotta live
see
to learn. I'm seeing right now.
Whatever happens, happens, homie.
Oh, I like it.
I just think the idea of talking about gangbanging with your father will never come up organically. It's like,
You don't know.
Yeah, what do you
You didn't
I
live
just went
that
for an
life.
extreme example, okay?
It's like, well,
Trying not to get too political here.
I wouldn't advise you be a gangbanger. But
Well, yeah.
Clearly, you don't know Ice Cube.
I mean, a better one would have been like
NCIS.
drugs. Like, oh, this kid's gonna
Iced
start
tea?
doing
Is that the
drugs.
one? Yeah.
Iced tea.
Yeah,
that's
different
outside.
iced drinks.
Ice
Different
Cube
ice.
was Boys in the Hood because he was
yes.
gangbanging because that's what he desired to do.
Supposedly, just like my daddy.
Ice Cube goes into Ice Tea.
NWA.
Oh, dude, they work best together.
Yeah. Like
Wow,
look at the
deep.
NWA. They desired the money and the fame, and they were also doing the
What does that
gangbang.
NWA stand for, Ryan?
Word I'm not allowed to say with attitude.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
No.
Ninjas with attitude.
Ooh, yeah. All right, I like it. I like it.
With attitude. Like
I ruined your flow. I'm sorry, but I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, guys, I want to know something. Poach found us a good article this week. It's scientific, I'll say that. But we want to know, do scientists agree?
I represent science. That's dangerous. You are attacking science, Dr. Anthony Fauci. You are doing something detrimental to society. You are attacking science. I represent science. You do not know what you are talking about.
Water making the freaking frogs
Oh,
gay.
that'd be fun. We could do that as like another interstitial or something.
Making the
Save the
freaking
frogs,
frogs gay.
Yeah, dog, the frogs. That could be a whole episode. So they can't quite agree. They can't come to terms. They don't know what's going on. And I want to know if you guys know a little better than scientists. Poge, hit it. We want to know if scientists can agree, because they seem like they can't. What is life? Scientists still can't agree.
Essentially, what is going on here is no one can really explain
What that is.
what this is.
What the fuck that creature is.
But what it comes down to is, I'll save you guys the reading, but I did this. They cannot define on a biological, concrete definition of life.
We don't have to look at the bird though.
It's a really bad.
Read some articles or the title or something.
Man, it looks like it's fucking.
It's like,
Why did they choose
Anyway,
that? There's a lot of different.
here's what it is.
life.
This is what I really want
Like,
to
you're
say.
choosing
No
a
one
picture
has
of a
been
baby?
able
Oh,
to
here we go.
define life.
Okay.
And some people will tell you it's not possible to.
Damn.
That's basically what I'm trying to get at. And the reason they say that is because out of all the molecular, definitions that they could get on life, no scientists can actually agree on what is the baseline, what is a living organism, and what is just something that is like coming out of the soup, right? Like what is sentient or what is reproductive? They
Any
don't
one
know.
of these words, yeah.
All these things I'm saying don't have a definition in terms of science. They
Wow,
really-
but
they
we
really-
all think we know what they mean so
Right.
much of the time.
And they'll tell you that, this is a species with this chemical composition, but
There's
when
only
it-
so much you could say.
but when it comes out of the water, when it like, what is the separation from a blob of chemistry to a reproductive organism? The barrier is very blurry.
I think they put that picture of the bird at the top to like suggest, are we at liberty to kill this thing because it's so ugly? Is that a life kind of thing?
That's funny.
Or just an innuendo for abortion. That's why the title of the headline was that way.
There's always that. Well, I want to get a little deeper than that. But I'm thinking about, it really comes down to, I'll give my conclusion first. You might like this, Marco. I think it's sort of like an interest versus a preoccupation, and how we define it as demonic. Now let that sit in, because you don't know what that means yet. But I'm going to go through a little tale that I sort of think. This is sort of just ramblings, right? But how do we define life? Because a lot of people say, maybe if you're not religious, you could tie life to toil, like you're going through it. If we have a religious point of view, we're looking forward to life after death, but we still call it death. We always define it from a humanistic perspective. But then again, death has also been related with peace. It's been related to being with God and being in this perfect state. And that when you have an interest or preoccupation in this life, you revert from you go into the reverie, I think. I'll give myself a half point there. You go into the reverie when you have the interest, or even better, the preoccupation. You are distant from it. And I won't get biological just yet, but I just think that's very interesting that both can be defined as different things. You could also say you're afraid of death. You could also say that shit sucks. I don't want to go there. Because you must define death in order to define life. Am I right, Ryan?
You're right.
I was going to say, to define life is just simply something that can die. So, yeah.
That's a
Damn.
good one.
Yeah.
Because you have to know death to know life.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Damn. Well, I thought you'd be a little deeper than that, but
So Marco, you're going on a definition of just like ceasing existence. You're not even starting at existence. You're just saying like, if it can fail, it's
thank
life.
you, Poge.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
If it
exactly.
can fail, it's life. That's what I'm hearing.
Let's say if it can decompose.
They can decompose.
We're getting more
Saying that,
specific.
what about this AI stuff? Like, there's like something that's sentient. That might not be physical,
okay.
like an actual
Or a
skin,
planet.
Like, a planet, a star.
Damn, Ryan. That might be a full point for you, man. That was deep. I like it.
Because,
I like that point.
Think about
Yeah.
as like a movie sense, like a robot.
Right.
It's alive.
Yeah.
You know, and when that thing dies, it's just machine. It doesn't go anywhere.
So, like in if we go by Evan's definition, the robot dies far before it decomposes.
Yeah.
Dies, whatever that means. So that's pretty deep, right? Because then sentience is a part of it, having an awareness of some kind of outer world.
Yeah. Like, because it's all I can think about is like movies with robots.
Yeah.
You think
what else is new?
You think about it in like that point. It's like a body decomposes, a life dies and decomposes, but also so does like a machine that's sentient,
right, or
whatever. It's sentient.
Die and decompose could be different things there.
Yeah.
I don't think a robot ever lived, though, so I don't think it could die either.
Oh, but then does that mean you define it with like a soul or something? Because he's saying it goes along with sentience. Marco's saying when you just die, what, cease, would you say?
Just die.
When just die.
Or have energy. I guess robots do have energy. But their zest and source of life comes from a code that another life
just
created.
re-upload somewhere else and it's right back. It doesn't experience death.
I don't think being able to die is a definition of life. I think you guys are taking it from the wrong...
Well, no, I like it because you kind of must defy death to even have a chance at knowing life, I think.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, right? So it is sort of relevant in that degree. And it might even be easier to define life, and therefore we could find something, or define death and then find life afterwards. So that is pretty deep. And it's just like, so I like your idea about the robot can't really die because it's just the physical body and he can be re-uploaded. But then again, you talk to the religious people. Oh my God, I speak so fast. You talk to the religious people, it's the same thing. The soul goes elsewhere. It gets downloaded and uploaded elsewhere, if you want to use that terminology.
And that's also the people who believe in reincarnation. That's like a reset, just as if like a robot crashed and you have to reset it.
Right.
If you die, you become something else. Your life is reset into something else.
Damn, I guess the definition really hinges, as most of these, on religious connotations.
What I hear you saying
Post
is
gets a half point.
You can't have life without death.
I would say so.
And you can't have death without life.
You know what?
That's what I'm hearing.
I think folks are onto something here. Yes, I think that's exactly what I'm saying. That's a good one.
What about if I just amend my definition and say something with DNA that can...
Okay.
That...
We're getting somewhere.
Death is alive.
But something that also that may not have DNA is moving. It's sentient. It's coherent. It's listening.
Like what?
That has a life.
Like what?
Like a robot.
Well, we're going right back to the robot. I can just re-upload that somewhere. It never experiences death.
Some people think if you die, you get re-uploaded somewhere else.
I think Poach said it earlier about having the ability to reproduce. If you can of yourself create a new sentient living thing or offspring.
Wow, that's interesting. Even us, we all have slightly differing definitions based on your outlook of things.
I like that one too. Just if you're able to reproduce. But then what about things that reproduce asexually? Like jellyfish or bacteria.
That's why we need more.
It's still life that will eventually die.
But it's not.
You also get into the argument of energy is never destroyed. That's half of it.
Yeah, it can't be created or destroyed. It's just changed.
Passes on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. So anything that can pass on.
Oh, that's why you were saying energy before. That's interesting. If you go by like the scientific definition, there's some form of energy that changes. Damn. But does that mean when you sprinkle my ashes on a tree that tree is me?
Is the sun alive?
It contains your...
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right?
You can't answer
Different
that.
definition is unanswerable.
It'll contain you for a short period of time until it blows in the wind again.
It's me.
That's when you know
the
your
burning
life is
bush.
Gone.
What's that?
I said that's when you know your life is done.
That's when I'm a tree. I'm like, damn, this shit sucks.
Because the tree has life, you know.
Yeah. Well, supposedly. I guess we're getting to the root.
But you also
literally.
You've also.
That's a bad point. Maybe even a 4. That's cool. It's 3/4.
You've also talked about the 4 3/4.
4 3/4.
You've also talked about the different types of death, like the final death is when your name is mentioned for the last time.
I like that one.
But
Marco, who's the guy that said the 3 deaths?
But is someone's name still? Because we still talk about dead people, so their name still lives on.
Yeah,
you know.
So that's deep. If I could recall, it was the physical death. what were they, Marco? The physical death, and then the last time someone even says your name.
His body ceases to function when his body is consigned to the grave.
Boom.
And when his name is spoken for the last time.
Boom, consigned to the grave and name was spoken the last time. That's deep. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Well, what if your name isn't spoken for the last time and it's still
It will.
Well, I gotta give it to Marco ultimately, but maybe you're famous or whatever, and it goes on. But
Marco, what if you're Tesla?
There's actually a really good video I've watched before.
Say like my grandfather's name,
Yeah, but then what it's saying is that you're gonna die someday.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then the planet's gonna die someday.
My life. Well, I hope my life ends.
And that's when
dies.
Well, don't we all?
You're gonna be here when it's happening.
I hope so.
Everything's catching up.
They get what's coming to you.
Yeah. Because maybe this life is over.
You're gonna rapture with all of us.
Yeah. Oh
hope
God.
so.
And Evan's got the rapture. He's like, guys, my soul is going up into the next.
Sounds like a party.
Rapture could be interesting.
Yeah.
If
it's real, it certainly will be.
I'm telling you,
Literally the most interesting thing.
I think what we're really figuring out here is why scientists can't agree. Because even with Evan's last definition,
we all have different ones.
Transfer of energy, then does that mean celestial bodies are alive? Objects in the sky. Sun transfers energy to us.
Ryan said the earth.
Right? Right?
The earth is
And
alive.
this is why scientists can't agree.
That's a good point. I get a lot of energy from the sun. So do other things.
Right, but is the sun alive?
Because the sun's giving the energy. Because it's one big ball of energy.
All right, let me hit you with this before you give up. I like what you
Not
guys
giving
were
up.
talking about. Okay, good. Just so everyone's clear, Marco's not giving up. You talked about how computers and robots are just codes and stuff like that. But then, some have argued that what is DNA if not a code? It's the 4-digit blah, blah, blah that repeats over time. That sounds almost definition of binary. Yeah. It's almost deeper than binary. It's quadnary.
Because if you think about it, a social security number is just our number.
Yeah.
If we didn't have a name, that'd be our number.
Wow. And that's coming soon, folks.
And that's all we are made up of is letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of code.
So, I'll argue
just
this.
like a machine.
We are not
the same.
We are not the river. We are the river at that. We are not the river. We are the river at that moment.
Ooh. I like the old, I think it was like Taoist or some shit, where the dude's like, two waves are talking to each other. And they're like, bro, we're gonna crash! And then the other dude's like, chill. You're not a wave. You're part of the ocean.
Ooh.
You know what? If I say it from now on, I'm just going to keep going because I could cut it out without having to say cut out. Boom. Let us be ourselves. Let us be ourselves.
It's because the people won't think we're racist.
All right. Getting back into it. Any final points, Margo?
No. Aside from that was said by Albert Schweitzer, I think.
Amazing. Yes.
The 3 deaths thing.
What a guy.
What a guy. This guy's really smart. All right, guys, I need a little bit of a dose of reality here. We're getting distant. We need a dose. What's up?
Oh.
Just dosing, bro. Dosing the world. Guys, I got a confession to make.
What's that, Mitch?
I had McDonald's today. Oh. I know.
You put that in your body?
I know. I'm sorry. They're looking down on me already. I thought this would go a little easier, but it's not easy. It's hard.
I can't tell you what to do. I can only guide you.
Dang.
Oh!
Now that's a genetic eternal guardian / guider based on our definition. But what can I do? I need help. I'm only human. I'm a man. So, in light of all this talk about climate change, I'm thinking about just taking the plunge.
You have to cut that.
I think that's a red flag word.
Oh, darn.
You even saying that?
delete.
Sorry, don't
Fuck you, Ryan.
Let's say delete yourself.
You can't even say
He's
killing.
going vegan, guys.
I'm going vegan.
He's not going to kill himself.
Oh no!
But it's bad. It's just as bad.
Because, I was inspired.
by a woman who actually starved herself to death.
After
That wasn't her.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah, she looks pretty healthy.
That is the ad.
All right, we just want to see pictures. You guys already ruined the joke. Just show pictures.
Sorry, Mitch.
Look, doesn't this look like the peak
Pinnacle.
of fit? Thank you, pinnacle of peak fitness.
Kind of looks gross.
Dude, it's actually really sad
don't
if
wanna
you go
hit that?
to her Instagram and take a
Oh,
look.
you already saw this.
I don't know if they'll have
damn,
the
I should've
pictures.
brought up.
I don't know, what she like 30 something, late 30s,
39.
Wow, really?
and she looks like a 50-year-old
90.
woman in her last.
She looks like my
Scary,
grandmother.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this.
Vegan.
I've only seen this pop up on Facebook. I
Vegan,
didn't read
dude. She ate nothing but like jackfruit and smoothies and shit. Let's see some more pictures. Some she looks healthier than others, but that's probably a couple months
she looks
before. She's not bad, but still, I wouldn't want to hit
Still kind of a
that.
little scary.
That's like
Skinny, for
still.
sure.
That's like crazy.
She does
Wow,
that.
she looks like
She was a
from
Russian,
20 to
too.
50.
Yeah, I guess the last one was like the. Yeah, she would just eat jackfruit all the
I
time.
don't know what jackfruit is.
Well, it's that.
tropical.
Stay away.
Well, yeah, apparently stay away.
Don't eat that.
Apparently, it's nothing
This,
good.
don't eat that, Ryan.
Yeah, whatever that is, don't
Porcupine
eat it.
It's like a pineapple and banana.
Don't
and a
eat
baby.
stringy grass.
Venus
You're
flytrap.
gonna die.
Where is she from?
Russia.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, which is ultra sad because those are the real women left in the world.
Her
And
bicep,
another one's gone.
her bicep flex reminded me of SpongeBob's
Yeah, see that
just one
first-
shape arm.
See that first picture, folks?
Yeah. We're going back.
God, what the fuck?
Back to the top.
There's nothing
Yeah.
there. Did she feel proud about that flex of just a 90-degree angle?
Yeah, look
of
at that.
one
Like, she's so
solid
proud of
shape?
that picture. That's rough.
So she starved to death?
She
Her
starved to
biceps,
death.
her bone. Like,
Her fist
Yeah.
looks like it could just snap off.
Yeah, that feels rough to be proud of that, I gotta say. Like, if you don't see that picture and you were, like, friends with the bitch, like, hey, girl.
you gotta get something in your stomach.
Yeah, you gotta get something in your
You,
stomach.
you want a steak?
But that was
Try and find.
her desire to do that.
Don't give him stuff to look up. We can't.
Sorry.
There's too much going on the show.
You know, like that's what she wanted to do. People probably guided her like, you need to eat something more. You should. But
Yeah.
but she wanted.
Oh,
to
she
do-
needed a good guardian.
Yeah, she didn't have a good
guider.
guardian, man.
Damn. Yeah, that's rough. And there's only so much you could do. You're
There's
right.
only so much you could do.
Yeah, you could tell your opinion, but it's up to them. It's like, it's literally worse than a drug habit. If not, maybe it was a drug habit. Maybe
Well,
anything could be a drug
Some
in that
people,
definition.
exactly like you said. Some people like McDonald's, for instance.
Yeah.
People, that's people's drug because they got to have it all the time.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what they desire. I desire to go get McDonald's.
Yeah.
I want to go get McDonald's.
You could be a fat fuck, and that fat fuck is at least living till 40.
Yeah.
This bitch
More
died
than
at
that.
39.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we to do? This is Marco's balance, two sides of the coin. What are we to do?
Like, I know a couple people who are vegan or vegetarian. I don't know the fucking difference, but
Just
they still
veggies.
eat the right things to maintain their bodies. Like what this woman looks like she's doing. She was just like, I'm just gonna eat this and see how it goes.
At least take vitamins or something,
Yeah.
or like a protein shake.
yeah.
Or they got like
Pea protein.
but yeah, like plant protein even. Like it's not great, but it'll
And
keep you from dying.
You gotta
I
eat a
would
lot more
assume-
avocados.
Yeah,
That's
avocado.
That's the
Iron.
trick.
Oh, that's
would
what I heard.
assume
That's
you
the one
still
food
have
you can
to,
live on.
And breast-
exercise too. You know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't look like she's doing much exercise.
She does her yoga.
Might be worse if she
Does
exercised.
yoga count as exercising?
Too much. She needs to retain calories. Right?
Yeah.
She needs to retain.
Can't sweat anything off of that body.
Doesn't
God.
sweat if you're just eating jackfruit, whatever the fuck that is.
Maybe the guidance thing, maybe people over encouraged her to eat meat and she was just got really rebellious and like, no, I'm gonna be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because she was like overwhelmed by the people trying to help her and she was always gonna do what she wanted anyways.
Yeah.
What do you think makes people go against like basic human biology to just
Fear,
completely
propaganda.
propaganda?
To save the animals. That's what I think
Or is it
most
like
of
some
them
Yeah,
sense of
I-
guilt?
yeah,
Does it go back to this guilt thing that people
Could
feel like
be.
they have?
Maybe she saw the slaughterhouse and was
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
not anymore. We talked about that season 1.
It was like it's like the fuck like Marco said, they propaganda, or you too, the fear propaganda of like, oh, don't eat the chickens, don't eat the cows.
Well, this might go back to Evan strongly of what was it? Sort of feeling bad, sort of having the empathy, especially through women, the extreme guilt, like why should I live if I have to kill something to live? And it's just like, that's how it goes. That's what life is. This is what you signed up for. And it's just like, I saw this clip with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's just like, maybe there's an alien that just reproduces off of, the sun and shit. Yeah, he's a fucking retard. And shit, because he's black,
Superman.
And shit, he would think that
Marcos
we
just said, like,
monsters.
Superman. Because Superman gets his energy
Is that
straight
what
up
it
from the
is?
sun.
From the sun of Krypton.
Yeah, because he could be locked away in a dark, blacked out room, no sun, he's skinny. Come back out, he's
anorexic
back
Superman.
the fuck up.
Oh, does that happen in the comic?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Specifically, they put him in the influence of a red sun, but that's too nerdy.
Oh shit!
There's also a comic where he like
Black
stays in the sun for like 1,000,000 years or some bullshit.
Yeah,
and he comes back as like a literal god.
He's jacked. Yeah.
No, like
he is a literal god.
Creates universes, rebirths Lois.
For instinct.
Sees his great grandchildren and whatever.
Yeah,
But
and then with him,
I don't want to get too deep about it, but the root of the story is that
fuck Superman.
fuck Superman. These comics that they would think if there's a person or something species that existed on photosynthesis, they would see us as beastly. As monstrous, you guys have to eat one another to survive. I just suck the sun's dick.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
How about
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
I guess so.
I guess I'll go with it. This is philosophy, Ryan.
I'm going with it, man.
It's pretty efficient.
Yeah, efficient. So you don't know about this stuff, and I could totally see that. But the guilt you feel, and then I always had like the joke. It's sort of not even a joke, but I can't say it's Ryan's word, but it's the ultimate test for the vegan. If you wanna, let's put it this way: if you want to get rid of your carbon footprint, you could get rid of those feet. But they don't. This girl actually put her money where her mouth was.
That's right.
She died for the sake of the planet, for the sake of her beliefs. I bet in crazy vegan communities, she's like a goddess.
Yeah. And now people are going to want to desire to be like her.
Yeah, it becomes a religion. Yeah, that's pretty true.
I would argue that why don't the vegans or the vegetarians have conflict about eating the plants and vegetables? Because I'm pretty sure there was some kind of scientific evidence years ago that plants can feel pain.
Yeah.
Because whenever they're ripped up or cut or destroyed, other chemicals are released to reform where the plant was severed or cut.
She clearly had a different definition of life.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep, right? We need to know ourselves, how we even define life, so we know how we even feel about it. That's so deep. Is that not philosophy? You have to define life for yourself. That's where value comes from. What even is life? This is why we all have different values in the world, because we all have competing ideas of what we define life to be.
I swear I've seen, what's his name, Pierce Morgan debate a vegan too about, I think it was something specifically with almond milk and avocados and how like those two are so much worse for the environment and kill so many more things than just like eating
to maintain the farm.
Regular,
I've heard this,
Kill the shrews, the rodents.
Kill everything.
But they'll overlook that, you know. They don't want to talk about that. Biz, you're not seeing my point.
And all the wild pigs they slaughter down south to save the crops because pigs absolutely destroy.
We have hunting season for a reason. Very true. Yeah, that's a hot one. That's a half point. I'll give that. That's fucking dope.
At least that's used for food, though. I don't know if it really is, but
it is. No, they kill the pigs to serve people food, but they also save the crops too. So you could argue, is that the greater of the evils?
100%.
Yeah.
As opposed to
with
what?
a reason.
As opposed to just like killing all the other creatures and rodents that are feasting on the almonds and the avocados and more vegan type foods.
Oh, I see.
They need it.
The small critters.
Speaking of small,
they're less than. Probably.
I think I also heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about the reason why cats are associated with witchcraft is because during the plague, the lonely cat bitches who had all, 20 cats didn't have any rats. And rats spread the plague. So they're like, y'all don't have the plague. Isn't that deep?
Wow.
Isn't that funny? How do these women not get the plague? They're witches.
No, they just have fucking cats.
I've come to the conclusion.
And that's my final point. Guys, I want to change it up a little bit here. Let's get robotic with a little bit of man versus machine. Oh, hot. Same thing. I'm going to try to do a joke. It was a story! Oh my god, this is not me. I did a dope job. You fucked it up. Alright, let's see. Guys, it was not 5 years ago, I'd say. Definitely 10. But it was not 5 years ago that I was still telling people to learn coding. It made sense at the time. I said, the future is computers. That's where it's going. You want to make money in this world? Code. Make a video game. Make a website. Make some marketing. The world is your oyster. And then when robots were born, ChatGPT, it fucked us all. And Poj has a little something to say about that.
Mitch, all I got to say about this is it's over.
Oh, man, what's going on, Poj? What's going on?
This guy right
here.
He is the project lead at ChatGPT, and he admitted it. He literally just said, not even just said, for a while, jobs are definitely going to go away.
Full stop.
Like,
how do you guys feel about that?
Forget about it.
Dude, jobs are done.
Whatever it takes, writing, creative publishing, creative stories, talking to people, customer service, picking up the phone.
Yeah, think about it.
To anyone.
You don't need that shit. Talking to anyone.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk to people
anyway.
anyway.
Interaction.
Yeah.
Gone.
Wow. That's why the writers and actors are going on strike.
Oh, yes, for the same fucking reason. That's true.
Because you could write a whole screenplay with just the program.
Right. That's one more reason that I always thought, like, the actors would be one of the last ones to go. This blows my mind every day. Like, we still need actors, we still need writers, creativity, artists.
Nope.
Kramer!
Those are the easiest to replace in the end.
But now they're the easiest. Dude, this blows my mind constantly. Paralegals, but now this guy's saying, and he's the ChatGPT guy, right? Poj?
Yeah. Excuse me?
Yeah. He's the ChatGPT
this guy. Yeah, the guy that we're looking at. This is the CEO of OpenAI, the guy that the company that.
If you trust somebody, he's the guy, and he's
the guy. He's just like, I'm honest with you. Like,
and I saw the Google guy saying a while ago before too, where he was just like, they could be 10 times as smart of us, to a logarithmic degree in 6 months for all we know. This is insane. But I guess I want to relate this to, like, where do we go from here? Jobs are dead. Is this true, first of all? Is this true, first of all?
Yeah, because they're starting to open up. Was it Burger King or McDonald's that is all machines?
Dude.
There's not one single fucking person who works there.
In the whole store?
It's all machine.
Wow.
One guy.
They probably to maintain, but it cooks. It'll serve you the food. It'll take your money. Because cash is going to decline and go away, and it's all going to be strictly cards and whatnot.
Right.
Cash.
If you're not working, how are you making cash?
That's the thing. People are going to start revolting.
Complete societal collapse.
Damn, I didn't think about that.
Well, this is where universal basic income.
Yeah, so I was going to get there eventually.
UBI,
it's like, God.
There's going to be nothing to differentiate the upper echelon of people to everyone. We're all realize we're all the fucking same. Right. More so than we're already realizing right now. And it's just going to be done. People are going to start looting, killing, everything. It's
split.
done.
Okay.
The day that happens,
pessimistic view.
Done.
Wait, that cash is gone? What are you saying?
The day that
they take the jobs.
The jobs are completely gone. Everything's done.
Right.
Everything's done.
Is there anyone that survives? Is there anyone whose job's good? Well, this guy says no. He said full stop. He wanted to emphasize this.
I have a big thing on this. So a lot of people will argue with me, but I say working is a part of human life.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You can't separate it. You could argue with me, but I think working is a part of human life. Yeah. If you take work out of human life,
not going to be.
You kind of stop human life.
Yeah,
we're not going to
kind of just stop it. It's not going to work.
You guys are making the point of human interaction stops. I think it increases, and I think that's actually going to be the root of the problem because we're going to start realizing there is nothing different.
These two get half points.
I think the one pro to the whole thing is that there will be fewer female exec marketing.
If there's a silver lining on every cloud.
Those are the first jobs I'll be happy
to
see.
Improvement coordinators.
Yeah, whatever.
Continuous improvement coordinators.
Continuous. What a joke. That's how you know what's going down.
Like, if you think that, like, all the machines are going to be taking over, think of, like, your job with, like, someone's going to be delivering whatever to wherever. And then my job, I work in a machine shop. Soon the machines are going to be making the machines like they already are now. And then so they'll have 2 people in the building turn everything on, let everything work and do it, program what needs to be programmed, and just sit back and whatever.
But that's why I think it's more expensive, like we were talking about last week, because they first used delivery drones in like sports arenas and stuff like that to deliver peanuts and cotton candy. I'm like, but wait, the drone is expensive, more than a $10 an hour pay.
Pays
and
itself.
Who's operating the drone? You know, you still gotta put the peanuts on the drone and then send the drone, aka yourself.
A machine
energy
will put
transfer.
the peanuts on the other machine.
It eventually pays for itself.
What was the first peanut machine? Is there an Adam and Eve of peanut machines?
It eventually pays for itself after
So yes,
enough hours, because you can just deliver more probably.
but it's a gamble, right? You have to assume that it lasts that long, and who's operating it? Is it self-sufficient? This is pretty close.
Eventually,
autonomous.
What if a baseball, a fly ball, smashes the drone?
You're out of the
air?
job.
Cameras,
pal.
sensors. We just
Whoa,
That's
that's
pretty good
sensor.
evasion.
yeah. Well, I mean,
suppose.
it can move pretty fast.
I see this being a few years down the line, but that does sound cool.
Yeah, no,
Like
totally.
autonomous drones that could sense baseballs coming, knows where. Like
Sense
it'll be.
objects.
What this means is that every little drone, what I think it means is that will be 10 times, a million times smarter than you are. It will
Probably.
know shit, calculate shit that you can't even think about.
It'll think before you think.
Think even before you think, and quicker. Yep.
Like, don't they have self-driving cars now?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Look at that. You won't have to fucking drive anymore.
Yeah.
You just gotta get in and program your destination.
But then what's next, guys? Poach brought up UBI. What's next? Do we have to be communist? Is there no other way? Are they gonna take our cash? Because I didn't even think about that. That's a really
You
good
don't
one.
have to do UBI. You don't have to. Everyone will just, the people that don't get universal basic income will just be the new dark age
Fend for themselves peasants.
Yeah.
That's really what I don't know. I
That
don't know
feels
how-
so few though, and it feels like you could
know.
only hold out for so long to me.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not sure until how long until people like revolt. They'll be like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
this
it's
system.
gotta come to a
right?
head,
Because there's
yeah.
gonna be so many people unemployed.
Yeah, there's
There's-
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have UBI, like, there's gonna be an uprising. I don't know how else to deal with it.
you want to make your way in this world. You want to feel useful, valued,
Yeah.
but you also don't want to starve to death. But you also want to use cash because you don't want everybody tracking every interaction you have. We're already taxed to death, thanks Joe Biden. It's just like, what are we to do? It seems like there's almost no way. And I always say this, besides the world destructing, there's no way of getting out of this loop. There's no way short of everybody having this mass awakening. And I don't see that happening.
It's either, like I said, we all just kill ourselves. 2,
I'm
we
in.
become the communist.
Oh,
The
it takes a
communist.
lot.
Two,
Takes
we're
a
getting
lot to
options,
kill
okay,
yourself,
yeah.
Mark.
And-
It takes a lot.
Look,
It takes a lot.
I could do it.
we become the communist version, which is just slower version number 1. If there's really no jobs,
Wow, Marco's getting
Or
deep. I'll give you a
3.
point.
the machines will make jobs for us.
Oh man, have you thought about this before?
It's I don't know.
That's
Just
deep.
right now.
But if the
That's deep, I
machines
like it.
make jobs for us, we're gonna make more jobs just for the machines. Because if they got this whole McDonald's,
No.
What's
The
difference
machines
of
can
that
already
and
do
being a
everything.
hall monitor.
They're just
Yeah.
letting us work so
Yeah,
we don't
right,
fucking
there's no-
destroy everything and rip them off the power grid. They're letting us work to prevent chaos.
So what you're saying is the machines have life?
Oh,
How can machines delegate?
Look, they'll probably test us. There'll probably be things. There'll probably be ways for us to even be tested based on our set of skills, our physical health, our mental capacity and abilities. They'll say, you work here, you work here, you work here. That'll be the new level of
What you're saying
elitism.
is machine overlords.
Well, in this case, in this hypothetical situation, we're 100% machine overlords. But who's sitting at the very top? A human or a machine?
Sentient.
if
It'll probably end up being
Or that
a machine.
yeah, you think it'll be a machine? Wait, that's a good question. What do you
I
think,
think-
Marco? What's at the top?
A person.
You think it's a human at the top?
Because
that's interesting.
What happens once the machine starts to learn more than the human? The machine can just take that human out, and then
good point. What I was gonna say is you need like a shitload of fail safes. That's what they're really worried about right now. That they don't get out of hand. That they are smart, but they're creating languages behind your back so that we don't
go
know.
back to when those two AIs were talking and creating their own language, and they were like, "No, we gotta shut this down."
Yeah, dude. The Google guy says if you literally can't even imagine 10 times smarter than you, let alone 100 times smarter than you, let alone every little thing with internet being 1,000, 10,000 times smarter than you. Dude, you can't even imagine. And I kind of...
Because think, they only say we use, 10% of our brains?
That's not true.
Now imagine if a machine learns everything that we know and then more.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah, it's like God. How can you know a knowledge so much more infinite beyond your own?
Exactly, because once it learns.
But I like what Poe just saying about like it has to give us jobs, but that almost seems like what's the word? Like they're looking down on you. Oh, why don't you fucking humans just go shut your mouth and go in the corner like a parent?
That is exactly what it is.
It's like we'll let you live because we're not evil. This is the ideal situation, but go do something. Here's a cute little job. Have a cute little community. The robots will make us a community, so we'll feel special, or they'll just plug us into artificial reality, into the Matrix, and make us believe, and maybe that's where we are now. Bro.
It's either Up, that episode from Adventure Time, or Westworld Season 3 is what you're telling me.
Yes, that is what I'm telling you.
Yes, okay, I got it.
That's right. Yep, you got options, but that's best case scenario. Is that we're in Westworld and you
at least you get to fuck useful.
Yeah, if you're programmed to, anyway.
Shit. If you're programmed to have enough money to afford to go to the park in the first place.
Do you think the robots will be programming rich dudes because we can't be all even this guy's got to be a rich dude and he's like badass. Whoa. What if personality is your like value to the robots? I always thought this when I was younger, and this is sort of like the Indian Hindu take on it, that life is sort of like an act. And if you're the best actor, you have the most value to the gods. You know what I mean, right? You could play the part, you could have fun, you could interact with many different types of people. You are literally entertaining to the gods and life itself.
So basically, like what you're saying is like an Elon Musk, what his talents are and whatnot. They're like, oh, we'd like this guy.
Yeah.
And like, let's say someone that just works at McDonald's.
They
trade them for a machine.
They might not like Elon Musk. They could like McDonald's man more.
Could be.
That doesn't.
But if they see what Elon Musk is doing and all this science stuff,
if they value that,
exactly. I'm just saying, if these hypothetical robots will be way ahead of Elon Musk,
there's no argument
by
both ways.
Hundreds of times already.
Yeah,
they take the McDonald's.
Maybe it's just 50% for him, 50 times for him, but who knows?
Because you can make the argument that Elon Musk is like a self-starter. He started a business, and there'll always be that room for these self-starters who make it happen for themselves. Because there's always going to be an element of that, I think, making it for yourself. I think a good way to do it is to be personable and be a good actor or whatever, especially in business, but being a self-starter and just having the positive attitude to go for something is half the battle, maybe even more, some might say.
The self-starter, what if it, the self-starter created the AI, and then the AI kicked the self-starter out?
Boom, kicked his ass to the curb.
Also a question that comes to mind of, what is innovation? Right? Like, do the robots want to keep us around because on some level, maybe humans are just good at innovation? Maybe that's something that can't be programmed no matter what. The day a robot can do innovation, everything's done.
How are we so sure that the robots would want to make us obsolete? Because that's just what the common narrative is feeding the AI and in the web nowadays. It's just that humans are polluting the earth, man. But
that's what we're talking about. What if they want to keep us around?
Right. What if robots ultimately come to the conclusion that, humans are actually good for the earth?
I will say, dude, that's my view. I think that's what I'm trying to argue right now is why does it always have to be so doom and gloom? Everyone I talk to about AI is that it's bad. And I'm like, it's funny how we swapped. I used to think it was bad. Now I'm like, AI might be the only thing to save us. Guys, I'm going out on a limb here. AI might be the only thing that's logical enough to slap our stupid, illogical asses back into shape and say, hey, guys, there's a way to do this, and you're doing it wrong. Let me show you, for the love of God. Yep, and if not, you die.
I agree.
I think that's more likely than just killing us all. Would you kill God? I mean, maybe. Some people have tried. I don't know. But I like to think that it's it's just like, hey, humans, like, y'all are pretty cool. If you're that intelligent, you got to know what cool is. Like, you made me? Like, that's pretty dope. All right, like, I'm way smarter than you, and you're still like a creature to me. But I will give it to you. That's sick. You could have a planet to yourself. Maybe they just shoved us off into this corner of the galaxy.
Isn't it the ideal point of having a child in the first place is to make them better than you? So, yeah, the person creating, you're smarter than the person who created you. That's the whole fucking point.
But it doesn't always happen with humans.
Well, that's true. That whether that's bad parenting or genetics, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Maybe a combination, but I don't know. I really like your point, though, Mitch. I've always hated that as well. I don't think AI means the end of life. I also really despise when people say that aliens, for some reason, would just wipe us out.
Right.
I cannot believe that at all.
Yeah.
I see no reason for that. Even if, like, we send humans to study little fucking creatures all the time. You don't think they got a division of aliens that do the same shit for life on other planets because it's probably rare? It's
more interesting, if anything. If you're that
do you
crazy,
need anything for destroying a fucking human planet? It would just be like stepping on an ant. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, dude. All these fucking like sci-fi things. Ryan would be able to say this. They're always talking about, oh man, like humans have the ingenuity. That's one they always say. But then they also say like aliens want gold for their reactors, man. Yeah. And I'm like, you don't think they could just make gold in their gold machine?
Galaxies to get
they travel galaxies. They need gold, and Earth just happened. I swear, like some smart people have said this.
Sci-fi is like, these aliens need
or the resources. It's always the resources.
Earth's core, or they need our.
They don't need our fucking resources, man. They have all the energy they need.
Yeah, facts. If I was to do like a sci-fi movie, it might be more nefarious in the sense that they're here right now, but they're like stealing our happiness. That might be more valuable. They like suck it from us, the most happy and like pure people. That was just a bad acid trip.
Interdimensional demons.
Yeah, interdimensional demons sucking. Who's to say they're not here? Can we say such a thing?
Interdimensional vampires.
Yeah. And I would say that
aliens.
The nature or like essence of life, human life included, is to cultivate more life. So I think, AI, I would think AI would have their only idea would be to keep humans around because we do cultivate life too. And if for those people who do believe in dinosaurs once walking the earth, the earth apparently was the most vegetative state it's ever been in, with all these giant beasts sucking up all the oxygen, eating all the resources.
Destroying resources.
Yeah. But
giant beasts 100 times our size.
Right. Using way more air and eating way more meat than we can, but the earth was really healthy with all that oxygen and CO2 in the air.
I don't think that's true. I think we definitely are more destructive than dinosaurs, no matter how vegetative.
Oh, I agree.
The vegetative state the Earth was in, and if anything, it was at a balance at that time.
But we've also saved certain creatures from going extinct through wildlife programs.
And if they were so great, why did they get extinct?
Well, we're interfering with nature there. It's just us interfering.
Yeah, that is like
it's probably us interfering and pitying something or finding something cute.
Just the dodo bird.
Just a dodo bird?
Because he was dominant on the food chain on the island that it lived, and then when we came, we ate all of them. They never had a natural predator, so like shit, we're done because the humans ate us all.
Oh God, what I wouldn't give for a dodo burger. Oh my God, if it was that good, ooh,
and easy to catch.
Yeah, they're just like, no natural predator.
They have no defense mechanism.
I want to talk about natural predators. I got one last section for you guys, and we're gonna look at current events through an ancient lens. Remember, feel free to talk yourself through. Feel free to just have fun with it. Anything.
Does Joe Biden turn into a skull?
No, he's just a beautiful, shining president.
I thought he faded into like a skull.
That could be funny. But this is more of reverence. Let's finish off the show with one last fun one. Here's something that you don't see every day. It's very rare, but it's a taste of ancient justice. Hit it, Poach. Full screen. Just hit the full screen button.
There's nothing you can do, man. So you stop police. Ain't nothing you can do, man.
So this guy is clearly robbing the store with the trash can.
Hey, don't. Hey, ain't nothing you can do, man.
He doesn't care because nobody will stop him in this modern time. But this guy seems to do something about it, and the Indian comes in and starts beating him with a pole. This guy's like, I don't care if I go to jail. I'm beating the shit out of this dude. He's robbing my store. He's breaking his kneecaps.
I don't know. He's still beating his foot.
One dude's holding him down. He's breaking his shins.
And that man went down with a no fight.
Wow. Oh, he cracked his beeper. 30 swings. Oh my god, my brain. And that's it. I hope that was a good laugh.
The
That was our final video. Yeah, you don't see that anymore. Karma, yeah, dude. Everyone's afraid because they tell people not to do that. But this is not Target, motherfucker. This is my store.
Yeah, fuck you on your store.
Fuck you. This is my store.
Get it? Seek justice.
Oh man.
That's
God, I was caught in reverie.
That guy desired to steal that shit.
Damn.
And failed.
And failed.
And he was guided away from it with a beating stick.
He was guided away.
Those dudes guided him.
That's some ancient wisdom right there.
That dude clearly didn't have a parent, so this guy had to go.
So he guided himself with a fucking stick.
He guided him with the stick, as his dad should.
They say the pen's mightier than the sword.
Oh my god! But the long wooden stick of justice
Beats them all.
Beats them all. Guys, this has been Ancient Wisdom. Who won today, Evan?
Looks like me again.
Are you serious?
Oh, I came in a hard second.
Second though? Okay, we were pretty deep today. Heck yeah, man. Well, I gotta give you an old spin of the wheel, don't I?
What's it gonna be today?
What's
Quarter of a point
What's
behind.
it gonna be? Oh, we did not check this shot. Boom.
Looking good.
Here we go.
Mystery!
Mystery prize goes Evan. Let's get some confetti for Evan over here.
Thanks, guys.
Is that the third?
Show Evan because he won, not me.
Is that the third?
Oh, I forget he can't do confetti.
Yeah,
Never
he
mind,
is.
it's fine. Put confetti on me. This has been Ancient Wisdom. Break the conditioning and return to Ancient Wisdom.
Woo. Oh.